Hello fans and friends, and welcome to another video. My name's Keir Smith. For today's video I'd like to revisit a series that I started some time ago, a series called Why I Love Certain Albums. I did Why I Love the Beatles' White Album, Why I Love Be Here Now by Oasis, Why I Love Rock a Little by Stevie Nicks, and Close to the Edge by Yes. And I thought, what better time to revisit this series than today on the 30th anniversary of this masterpiece. This is Why I Love In Utero by Nirvana. In Utero is one of the albums of my life. I've been listening to this album since I was 14 and I'm 42 years old now, so some 28 years. I should take a moment here to thank my older brothers, Craig and Liam, because when I was 14 and still at school, of course, they were 16 and 18 years old, and they were out working and spending their hard earned pay on these great albums that they would bring home and allow me to listen to. And if there's one band that we three brothers all agree on, it's Nirvana. I always say that they're the first band that I fell in love with. Kurt Cobain was the first rock star that I looked at and thought, whoa, this guy's amazing. And I remember, clear as day, sitting in the kitchen with my brother Craig, listening to the Nevermind album for the first time. And as limited as my knowledge and understanding was of those songs, I knew immediately that this was a big sound and these were great songs. And so we'd been into Nevermind, and of course we loved that and pored over those songs. But then came In Utero, and it's safe to say that this was an entirely different beast. There's 12 songs on this masterpiece, 6 on each side if you're listening on vinyl. Sadly, I don't have the vinyl, but I will rectify that very soon when the new 30th anniversary edition is released. And the album opens with Serve the Servants, a heavy, dissonant rock song. The lyric goes, "Teenage angst has paid off well. Now I'm bored and old." And like I said, I was 14 hearing that for the first time, but I thought, yeah, I understand that. I can see that that's how it probably goes. But when Kurt sings that part and he's singing about his own parents' divorce here, I tried hard to have a father, but instead I had a dad. I got that. It was personal to me. When I was young, my father was absent and I was raised by my stepdad. I thought, wow, he gets it. I get it. This is great. And musically, it's such a powerful opener. Grohl's drums come crashing in. Kurt's vocals amazing. I love the ragged guitar solo. It's it's superb. Scentless Apprentice is next, and this is a group effort, and it's powerhouse stuff. The bass and drums are locked in to create that thumping sound, along with that heavy, dense riff. And Kurt's vocals sounds like a chainsaw ripping through everyone and everything just after the minute mark when he sings, screams, roars, whatever you want to call it. Go away, get away. It's so guttural, and if it wasn't so good, it would be painful. But as it goes, it's truly astounding. It's an incredible vocal, probably my favourite vocal on the album. Hang on, it's too early to be saying that. And drummer Dave Grohl once said that the lyric, "You can't find me because I quit," was among his favourite Nirvana lyrics, and I think it's one of mine too. It just sounds so great when Kurt sings it, utterly convincing. Scentless Apprentice is, without a shadow of a doubt, a top 10 Nirvana song for me, possibly top 5, possibly top 3. It's Nirvana is so hard to define for me. I can never put them in a box. They're all my favourites in a way. And I know that sounds obvious to say, but I don't know. Scentless Apprentice is it's something else. It's great is what it is. Up next is Heart Shaped Box, another great song and a hit single for the band. And I used to love it when the video came on MTV when I was a kid. I'd sit there absolutely transfixed by it. Heart Shaped Box has a dynamic ebb and flow to it, a quiet verse, an explosive chorus, and I just love singing these lyrics. Hey, wait, I've got a new complaint. I love Chris Novozelic's bass line on this song. I love the wiry guitar solo. Kurt's vocal amazing again. It's again, it's just a big sound, and it's a fantastic song, Heart Shaped Box. A top 10 Nirvana song, absolutely. Rape Me is next, and this is an anti-rape song, and it all starts off mid-tempo, jangly guitars, quite melodic, very nice. And then Grohl's powerhouse drumming comes thundering in to kickstart things. And again, I really love the song. It's intense and really powerful stuff. Rape me, hate me, do it and do it again. It was overwhelming when I first heard it. I've come to understand it a lot more now, of course. But it all sounds so good, so urgent and vital and visceral. And I was listening to it again today, and Kurt's vocal on the outro, I mean, it really sounds tortured. It continues to blow me away. Up next is Frances Farmer Will Have Her Revenge on Seattle. What a great song title, and what a great song. I mean, this is, whew, this is big. And again, this one starts off rather quiet with a sort of slow chugging rhythm before the band simultaneously crash in together and just take the door off. It's so heavy and loud. It's sheer brute force and power, and it just blows everything else out of the water. Just listen again, especially after the 2.5 minute mark. That sound, it's ginormous. Headbanging heaven. Kurt's gruff and growling vocal is sensational again, and special mention for the lyric, I miss the comfort in being sad. I love that lyric. One of my favourite Nirvana lyrics for sure. The song Dumb closes the first side of the album, and it's one of the quieter moments on In Utero, but no less brilliant for that. It's a simple but beautiful melody. I really like the lyrics to Dumb and the optimism around them on what is otherwise a really dark album. Kurt sings, "My heart is broke, but I have some glue." And later he sings, "The sun is gone, but I have a light." And I always like the moment when Kurt's voice breaks ever so slightly when he sings, "We'll float around and hang out on clouds." Listen when he sings the word float. And the cello playing by Kira Shaley is a really nice touch. Dumb is a fantastic song. Very Ape opens side 2 and sort of takes the mick out of the macho man. And again, I love that growling vocal that Kurt employs here, and that guitar sound is really cool, especially when he makes it squeal. Chris's deep, rumbling, fast bass line is fantastic, coupled with Grohl's equally fast drumming. It's short, sharp, direct. It flies in, it flies out, all done in less than 2 minutes. Absolutely brilliant. Up next is Milk It, the best Nirvana song. The best Nirvana song. This is my favourite Nirvana song. This for me is the darkest moment on an outro. The band just rip it to shreds. It's unhinged, it's manic, it's completely overwhelming. I absolutely love the quietude of the verses because it only serves to set up that manic roar from Kurt when he sings doll, steak, test, meat. Look on the bright side of suicide, lost eyesight, I'm on your side. Angel left wing, right wing, broken wing, lack of iron, and or sleeping. Now I'll admit I'm not even sure what that means, but when Kurt sings it with that voice and that power and that claustrophobic intensity, the blood gets flowing around my body and I am super pumped, and for that moment I am completely overcome. And truth be told, I start to get a bit manic myself. The bands sound phenomenal. There's nothing fancy about this playing. It's simply sheer raw power and it's incredible. I love it. It's the best. Kurt's vocal is so good, and you'd think it'd be torn to shreds when he sings that final line. Your scent is still here in my place of recovery, but no, it goes on. Up next is Penny Royalty, and if I had to choose my least favourite song on the album, then it might well be this, but that's not to say it's not a great song because it is. Again, it employs that quiet verse, loud chorus, which works so well on a lot of Nirvana songs. Dave Grohl's drums again come flying in on the chorus. I love them. I really like Kurt's guitar solo. Great lyrics. Give me Leonard Cohen, Afterworld, so I can sigh eternally. Love that. Yeah, it's great. Pennyroyal Tea suffers from being sandwiched between what I think are two superior songs. Obviously, I've spoke about how great I think Milk It is, but the next song, Radio Friendly Unit Shifter, is quite something too. And again, this one comes flying in with a scratching, screeching guitar sound and a fast and furious rhythm section. And I just love these lyrics. Use just once and destroy. Invasion of our piracy. Afterbirth of a nation. Starve without your skeleton key. Incredible. And I love those big crunching power chords that go into the what is wrong with me part. I love Chris's bass line. Brilliant. And I'm picking out particular parts here that I like, but this is a real band album. All three are absolutely locked into the groove and the power of the song, and this sounds particularly amazing, especially when the song breaks down amid all the fuzz and feedback. Wow. And that brings us to Tourette's, which is short and sweet at just over 90 seconds, but this is one last push, one last super aggressive, mad, manic howl with Kurt ranting nonsensical lyrics over the top like he was just fresh out of primal therapy. The whole thing is a complete mess, but what a beautiful mess it is. And that brings us to the final track on the album, which is All Apologies. And this mops our sweaty brows after the madness that was Tourette's. And much like the song Dumb, All Apologies is a subtle but really sweet melody. And like Dumb, Kira Shaley is back on cello again here, which is really nice. And we get one last heavy drum kick from Dave Grohl as he leads us into the In the Sun section. And the closing lyric is among my favourites on the album. All in all is all we all are. What a great way to end things. But wait, before we wrap things up, I do feel like I should mention the bonus track, Gallons of Rubbing Alcohol Flow Through the Strip. This is a slow, loose jam, more madness from the band, but I like it when Kurt casually suggests one more solo, and then he screams, yeah! Great. I think I just like hearing Kurt scream. It does something to me. It gets my motor running. So that was an Utero, an album that was and continues to be so special to me. I think I said earlier in the video, it's so hard for me to describe Nirvana and pigeonhole or say exactly what it is. I just know that when the band plug in and play and Kurt sings, shouts or screams or whatever it is he's doing, it does strange things to me. For that moment in time, while the music is playing, while Nirvana are playing, I'm completely overcome and completely lost to the music and completely one with it. And I think that is a hugely powerful and important thing, at least to me anyway. So yeah, that's why I love In Utero. So come on, Nirvana fans, I want to hear from you. Let's celebrate the 30th anniversary of this masterpiece together. Please leave me your thoughts on the album, your favourite songs in the comments section below. And thanks to everyone who watched this video. See you next time.